you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here, and I'm back with a new video. And in today's video, big trigger warning, I'm coming with some sad news. So the legendary R&B singer Brian McKnight, his son has sadly passed away. He was 32 years old. So Niko McKnight. And the reason why I'm doing this video today, because there's just been so much drama between Brian McKnight and his kids that he had from his previous relationships slash marriages. Now he's with this, I think she's Hawaiian woman. He's adopted her too because she had two kids for her previous relationship, and they've had a baby together. And he's named his newborn baby Junior when he already has a son named Junior. Now, anything to do with Junior and the whole that name, ain't only one child. Obviously, I know you have the second, the third, but yeah. But yeah, so they didn't have a good relationship, the son that sadly passed. And even in his dying days, he tried to reach out to his dad, Brian McKnight. And Brian McKnight was just like, no. So he's always said the kids that he's had from his previous relationships are toxic, so negative, narcissist, that he can't have them in his life. Obviously, I don't know the truth in it. Like, there's their side, there's his side, and there's the truth in the middle. But the fact that you know what I mean, your son tried to reach out to you and he was on his dying, you know what I mean? This was probably like his dying wish for you to make up. People are gathering him up, obviously, and yeah. This isn't even a deadbeat dad. This is just straight demonic. And if you're new to this channel, listen, I talk about these demonic men, these demons, all the time. I've done a video on a woman that was homeless. She had 5 kids, and sadly 2 of her kids passed. I'll put the picture there and I'll link at the end of the video. And when the news like anchors interviewed the dad was just kind of like shrugging his shoulders, like, she should have told me she was homeless, blah blah blah. And it's just like, you should have knew that your kids were homeless. You know what I mean? There's one thing for the mother to do this and that, but you as the dad, why did you not know that your kids? And it wasn't like they were homeless for a week. They were homeless for a good couple, like 3 months plus. So yeah, so I'm gonna roll the clip just so you have a bit of a backstory, and I will be back with my commentary.
This is Niko McKnight, son of Brian McKnight. Some would say disowned, disregarded son of Brian McKnight. We learned today from his Uncle Claude that he passed away after a 2-year battle with cancer. And I cannot help but reflect on the comments and actions of his father. Brian McKnight, once a staple in R&B, arguably the best living R&B voice alive, is now known more for family estrangement than any chart-topping hit he ever had. And as if the story wasn't already painful enough, this news that his son, Niko, has passed away to battling cancer is just heartbreaking. He's gone without the healing, without the apology, and as far as we know, without his father by his side. Brian McKnight has 4 biological children from previous relationships: Brian Jr., Niko, Brianna, and Clyde. But if you followed him recently on social media, you'd think he was only the father to his stepchildren and his new baby boy. Brian has called his biological children evil, negative, and most disturbingly to me, products of sin. He legally changed his name to Brian Keona Makoa McKnight Sr. to match the son that he had in 2023, despite already having had a son named Brian Jr. To me, the message this man tried to send to his children couldn't be more clear. He wanted a fresh start, a new legacy. It didn't include any of the children that bore his last name first. I don't know how anyone could still support this man. It's about accountability. It's about the trauma we carry when parents abandon us and how the pain gets amplified when they do it with a smile, a sermon, and a spotlight. To Niko McKnight, may he rest in paradise. He deserved better. He deserved a life that was full of love without conditions. He deserved a father who showed up.
Yeah, guys, so you heard that backstory there. So he said his first set of kids was a product of sin. Like, can we just deep that? Like what? Listen, I'm a mother, and me and my children's father, we're not together no more, so he can go off and have more kids, vice versa. But you know what I mean? Just to cut off your first set of kids just because you want to start a whole new relationship. Like, wait, what? What happened to blended families and coming together as one? And even from like experience in my own life, my dad is very similar to Brian McKnight. He's not, well, he has abandoned me. At 32 years old, guys, I've been abandoned. But he's abandoned my younger siblings that I've just found out. And they're pretty much orphans. Their mum died and my dad doesn't deal with them. So they're just in the world, like, and he pretty much feels how Brian feels. He's like, oh, they're out of sin. You know, he's ashamed of them basically. And it's just like, you had them. So, like I said, this is beyond deadbeat. I know people are calling him a deadbeat, but this is beyond. Like, this is just straight up demonic and evil. Like, the fact that he was on his dying bed and he wanted to make amends, and the fact that Brian McKnight didn't even address it. His uncle put the news out there. And I feel like it's right that the uncle did because it shouldn't have been one of his siblings and it shouldn't have been his mum. We don't even really know who his mum is. But yeah, and Brian McKnight's come for his brother, you know, saying that he's only doing this, you know, seeking attention and he's got an agenda. And it's just like, no, your kids have fans and people support them. And we have a right to know. You know what I mean? I didn't know that he was battling cancer, but just to hear that he's, you know what I mean, the same age as me and he did want to make amends with his dad and his dad was still ignoring him like he was a piece of shit on the floor. It's heartbreaking, man. Obviously, again, people are gathering him up, and yeah, there's a special place for him in hell. So it's all good. Just leave it to God. But you know, I hope he's not in pain anymore, and I hope he can finally rest and find peace.
So lastly this week, I want to big up my man right here. See, he gets it. In order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and the negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related. We want everyone to live a life that you love. Our hashtag, that's what it means. Hashtag I love our life. But in order to do that, you have to get rid of all that evil and negativity. There's so many angry and upset and negative people out there. We want to use our platform as a place of positivity, a positivity platform. So hopefully, I mean, who knows, next week, maybe I'll only respond to positive comments. But we'll see. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, guys, you just heard that. So even though his son sadly passed, he's like, I ain't addressing it. You know, those people are negative. I had to remove them from my life. Like he's literally moving like the cancers. It's just like, wait, what? For me, again, I'm a mother. The only reason I could like abandon my kids if they try to unalive me, cause you know what I mean, I can't have you around me. You're trying to take me, you know what I mean? You're trying to take away my life. But other than that, you know, people cut their kids off if they're like gay or, you know, if they've done other stuff. And I get it to an extent, but the fact that he tried to make amends, like he knew he was gonna lose this battle with the cancer, and the fact that he tried to reach out and you still was just like, just literally looking at him like he's a piece of shit is crazy. And even the kids, the other kids that are still alive, he's not even trying to, you know what I mean? Because sometimes when people pass, you feel, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this. But he's still on smoke. He's still like, I don't F with them. They ain't my kids. You know what I mean? And it's just like, life is so short. Like, and I know one of his, because he's got two daughters and two sons from previous. And I know that one of his daughters did sue him for defamation because he was talking about her. And once he gave her that payout, he kind of cut her off from then. He was like, that's it. We're done. And I just feel sorry for the brothers. So the brothers have got the same mom. And I just feel sorry for the brother that's still alive. Like, this must be so hard for him. And obviously the mother. 32. I'm just like, that's young. So young. But yeah, let's get into some people's reactions.
Brian McKnight scares the crap out of me. Like, he's probably one of the most scariest human beings I've ever seen. I just seen a picture of him and I was terrified. Like, there's a demon attached to him. I don't know if it's the tequila talking or what. His son recently passed away and he's been battling cancer for 2 years. He reached out to his dad and said, like, he wanted to basically fix whatever issues they had, and he wanted his dad to tell him that he loved him. This man said No, basically. And it really just feels so evil, like really inhumane, actually. Like, I don't care what my kids do to me, anything like that. I don't think I could ever be that heartless. Like, I don't think there is a heart in the chest. It's kind of just like a black vase kind of thing, and it's holding black fluid, and that black fluid is venomous, and that's all he's able to put out. Brian McKnight was dedicated to showing his first batch of kids how much he dislikes them and doesn't mess with them. This man went so far as to changing his whole name to match his son's name from the second wife. I don't wish that type of dad or a baby father on anybody. And it's especially sad right now because his son Niko passed away from cancer. And you couldn't even tell that boy that you loved him.
Yeah, man, she was telling some truths and that she makes me laugh. Like, he scares the crap out of me. Even me, like, getting pictures for the thumbnail, I was just looking at him like, nah, this guy, like, he actually does, he scares me. Like, when I say there's one thing cutting off your kids, because again, people cut off the kids for different reasons, but this is on a whole nother level. And because it's played out on social media, like, we've seen his kids basically beg for his attention, maybe his forgiveness, and he's still just looking at them like they're a piece of shit. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, I definitely agree what she said with that black jar. Venom is giving Venom. If you've seen the film, like, Venom's all black. Like, yeah, there's something demonic, there's something evil. Like, there's just like, because I'm big on like vibes and energy, there's just the evil energy around him. As much as with his new family, he tries to seem all happy and smiles. No. And obviously, his new wife, she's like some sort of Asian or Hawaiian. So again, it's kind of giving colorism because the two kids he adopted, they're like Hawaiian or, you know what I mean, like Asian. And then these kids are like full black or, you know what I mean, because his daughter's quite light, so I don't know if she's mixed, but you get the point. It's literally just like when men, when they're in the hood, they have black baby mums, and then when they make it as being like a rapper or whatever, they get like with a white girl. Have a whole new, like, let's use the rapper Little Dirk. Well, actually, he was with a white girl first and then got with a black one, so that's not a good example. I'm trying to think who's got two color baby mums. Like, I'm trying to think. Okay, let's use Tristan Thompson, sorry, Khloe Kardashian's baby father. So when he wasn't big, he was like with a biracial girl, and then he cheated on that girl with Khloe Kardashian. So you know what I mean? Like, he left the woman of color for a white woman. You know what I mean? But then he cheated on Khloe. So yeah, but you get my point. I can't think of no one right now, but yeah, this happens a lot. But the fact that he just fully cut off his kids is insane. And again, like she stated, he tried to reach out and he just wanted to be like, Dad, I love you, waiting for him to say it back. And Brian's just like, it's heartbreaking, man.
Brian McKnight is an example of how sometimes you can make such a fool of yourself and make such drastic mistakes that you can never ever fix them, even if one day you come to your senses. He's a 55-year-old man with 4 biological children, one of which just passed away from colon cancer at the age of 32. And when his son publicly reached out to him when he was nearing the end, he did not have the human decency to make amends with his son before his passing. And this, my friends, is a perfect example of a jackass. This is somebody who lacks human empathy, and he's just a natural born jackass. And this did not happen overnight. I'm quite sure the signs were there all along. You don't develop this. And lastly, just because you say it's so does not make it reality, okay? He thinks because he changed his name to his youngest son with his recent wife that wipes away his relationship or his ties to his own biological children. Just because you say it's true does not make it so. Those are your kids whether you like it or not. You laid down and had them, they're yours. Now you've lost one, and you're going to forever be known as a jackass.
Shout out to that lady. Personally, I think she was being kind by calling him a jackass. Someone who's a jackass who just annoys you or spilt a drink on you. You know, you're just like, oh, you jackass. You know what I mean? That's being nice. There's other words we could be saying, but I probably couldn't say it on here. But yeah, like she said, even him changing his name, what a weirdo. Like, you've changed your whole name just to match your newborn son. Like, again, he just gives me weird energy, weird vibes, and just how he's so all over this new family. You know what I would love? And I love karma because karma will lick you in the worst way when you least expect it. I would love for this new wife to like leave him, you know, take him for everything he's got, or cheat on him, or have a baby on him. Like that would be the chef's kiss, the icing in, the cherry on top. Listen, God don't like ugly and what he's done. You know, it says it in the Bible, you know, we need to forgive, you know what I mean? Treat thy neighbor as you would, you know what I mean? Treat yourself and things like that. And it's just like, and that's the most time when people confess things on their deathbed because they know this is it. You know what I mean? Next after this is Judgment Day. Like, so the fact that he reached out and he still said no, it's like what did this young man do to you? Like, I don't understand. Again, if he tried to like unalive you, I could semi understand, but no.
You know something, Brian McKnight? I hope you can live with the fact that your son, your precious son, left this world without feeling his father's love, never having his father's love, and having to go through something as horrendous as cancer without the support of his father. That had to have been a hard pill to swallow for him, and you allowed him to. I pray you have so many sleepless nights and this haunts you for the rest of your days. Karma's gonna come to you in the worst way possible. Karma got special plans for you, buddy. It's such a shame when parents, absent parents, are actually comfortable not wanting to be a part of their child's life because their child is not either moving the way you want them to, or they refuse to be on the receiving end of your BS. They stand up for themselves. They stand up to you. And then when they stand up to you, you act surprised. Like, how dare he or she stand up to me and not tolerate this anymore? Yeah, because we're not under your household anymore. We have our own bills. We have our own lifestyle. We have our own things. We have our own circles. We don't have to live just by our identity anymore because we were in your household. Parents have to understand, when you talk to your child crazy as an adult, they're not a child anymore. They're going to equally respond as an adult. You don't get to have it both ways. Shame, shame, shame on you, Mr. Brian McKnight. But anywho, rest in peace, Niko McKnight. You definitely deserved better. And I hope you are resting peacefully in paradise. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Yeah, I agree with everything she said. She makes me laugh about, I hope you have nightmares. Obviously, she touched on karma, which I just mentioned. Listen, God don't like ugly, and this is so wrong. And like she said, just him going through the treatments and the trips to the hospital back and forth, it must have been a lot. Like, just because he's my age, I'm trying to deep it. Like, he probably got told he's got cancer at 29, and then the 2 years he's battling it, and then sadly now he's lost the battle. Like, but like she said, we pray he rests in peace. You know, he's left this world. No love is greater than God's love. You know what I mean? Now he's with the Lord. Like, but yeah, it's just so demonic. Like, how can you sleep at night? And again, speaking from experience, my dad has done some really like horrendous stuff. And I just deep it every day. Like, how do you even sleep at night? Like, how do you toss and turn in bed, get up for work, eat food, cook, go out in your car, like, and you've hurt all these people, like, but again, karma, We can't wait for karma to come because the tables are always turning, and this is why you need to do good in this life.
Brian McKnight, the Brian McKnight that I grew up off of, listening to his music, his slow jams, that Brian McKnight is the McKnight that we're talking about, whose son recently lost his battle with cancer. And this man hasn't even acknowledged his son publicly. I don't understand. Just because you get remarried and move on with your life, that only means that you moved on with your life. Your children are still your children. They did not ask to be here, but how can you not even be there for your son? And it has been what, 1, 2, maybe 3 days since he's been gone, and you haven't even been there for your son. Now, I know some of you guys say, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, Mr. Crier. Well, the family has spoken out. He has not even so much as even helped making arrangements to give his son a proper home going. Now, I don't understand this because we grow up listening to these celebrities. It's okay, baby. We grow up listening to these celebrities, but we don't know what really goes on behind the scenes. We know them through their music, but we don't know them in real life. And it's sad that all these years later, we have to find out about just how these celebrities really are in real life. Just because a man decides to remarry, you leave that woman behind. That woman leaves that man behind. But the man nor the woman never, ever leave their children behind. I don't care how many times you get married. You can't say that your kids are evil, man. You can't say that your children are evil. And then even if they are, let's just say hypothetically that even if they are bad kids, we ain't gonna say evil. That's a diabolical word to use, especially when it comes to your own children. But even if they do have issues that you may not agree with, that's still your own flesh. Those are children that you birthed. You once was in love with their mom. So just because you and their mom fell out of love and you moved on with your life and she moved on with her life, don't mean that you abandon your kids. That's what I say about these celebrities now. We so quick to dance to their music, play their music in the clubs, go out and buy their records, their albums, their CDs and all this stuff online. But then you find out in real life that these celebrities really not about nothing, man. They all about themselves. What type of man just abandoned his only, his child, man? I don't know how many children that the man has, but I do know this man has not even been there for his son while his son was among the living. And now you mean that the son is no longer with us? You're not even gonna help send your son to his home going the proper way? That's sad, bro. Like, that makes all men who look like me look bad. It really makes us all look bad. Because here it is, this guy was well known at one point in time in the music industry. And to find out the type of dad that you are, and you won't even be there for your own children. Really, Brian McKnight? Really? You should really be ashamed of yourself, bro. You know what? I'm not even gonna call you bro. You should really be ashamed of yourself, Brian. Unbelievable that I supported your music for all these years and come to find out that this is the type of person that you really are in real life. But here's the thing, you guys would be shocked about how a lot of these celebrities really are in real life. How a lot of these male celebrities don't even see their children or even acknowledge their children. This isn't just the first case. This is just the first case I've ever seen where the child actually is no longer with us and the dad won't even be there to even talk to the family about giving their child, his own child, a proper burial. And you carry a celebrity name? How that's gonna look when your son go to his final resting place and knowing that the dad wasn't even really there? You gotta answer to God, man. Not just as mom, you have to answer to God. And trust me, the same way that you judged your child and your children, God is gonna judge you. I promise you, your day is gonna come. That's really sad, man. Prayers out to the family, man, of Brian McKnight's son who lost his battle. It's really real out here, man. And I think it is just really sad what this man is not doing. All I can say in closing this video is really, Brian, really.
Shout out to that black man for holding him accountable. And I like how he said, when he said bro, and he's like, no, I'm not even going to call you bro because you don't F with him like that. I'm going to call you Brian. Yes, we need to check him and address him properly. But yeah, you can tell he's hurt. And as you can hear in that clip, he's a father. And he's just so disgusted. And he made some really good points. Like, this is why they say you never want to meet your idols or people you admire because they just disappoint you. Like, a lot of these celebrities are like this in real life. The demonic, the evil, the mean spirited, you know what I mean? Even though we got them there to those heights where they're at. But yeah, you can hear the hurt. Like, we're more hurt and we're the outsiders, you know what I mean? And I didn't even think about his funeral and is he gonna go? Or is he gonna like put some money towards it? Because you know what I mean, his mum didn't make him by herself, you know what I mean? She didn't just lay on her back and get pregnant. Oh yeah, it hits a lot, and I don't think he is gonna go. Again, he didn't address him when he was alive, you know what I mean, and now he's part of the dead, you know what I mean? Like this is crazy. And you know what we really need to address is a big elephant in the room, his new wife. It was the same with Vanessa Bryant with Colby because Colby didn't have a relationship with his parents. Listen, me as the new wife, I'll be like, you have to go and, especially with death, with him battling cancer, I was like, go and make amends with your child. You know what I mean? Like, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? And I feel like Vanessa Bryant should have, you know what I mean, shared an olive branch with Kobe Bryant's parents because that was their son, you know what I mean? He wouldn't be the Kobe, you know what I mean, the Mamba without his parents, you know what I mean? But again, like he said, what do we know? We're not in their families and in their lives. Again, the kids have told their side, Brian's told his side, and the truth is in the middle. But from what we've seen play out on social media, they're not bad kids, you know what I mean? We've seen bad kids. We've seen kids acting out, always going at their parents. Like, no. Every time they've gone off on social media, they literally just want their dad's love. And he's just like, I don't know, y'all.
A lot of people are saying that Brian McKnight is a horrible, horrible person. And they're saying like a lot of bad things. But one that I really just particularly remember, and it's not the one where he changes his name to match his current marriage son. No. It was that his daughter from his previous marriage and his daughter from his current marriage, well, it's not his actual biological daughter, went to the same school and had like a whole daddy-daughter thing. And he went for his stepdaughter's... he went for his stepdaughter. He didn't go for his biological daughter. Even though they were in the same school, same building, I think. It was just like having to have your biological dad in the same room as you next to another girl that he claims that is his real daughter is so just, it's like, dang, that man is very, very evil.
Yeah, she made some good points. This happens all the time, especially from toxic, narcissistic men. They literally just move on, like they never had kids previously and just start a whole new life, you know what I mean? And it's very disturbing. I don't know what's on his Instagram. I don't check for him like that. But when she said it's just his Asian looking family now, just this whole like brand new, like a whole new world, like his black kids don't exist. Like this is insane. And I love, like she said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Your son left this earth knowing, yo, my dad doesn't love me. Like, if there's a time to make amends with anyone, it's definitely when, you know what I mean, they're about to leave this world. Like, there's just no words. Like, not this R&B singer that, again, back in the day, he was that guy in it. Like, he had those good love songs. And it's just like this is you. I agree with the black man previously and his kids, like, calling your kids evil, demonic. The only thing I can say when you can call your kids that if they try to unalive you, because that is demonic behavior. Like, I'm your parent, why are you gonna try and unalive me? But apart from that, if they've pissed you off or they've done something you don't agree with, they're their own person. That's just life, innit? Like, I've done stuff. Like, even me, I got pregnant at 21. My dad was fuming. He cut me off for my whole pregnancy. But that's my choice. Like, this is my life. You know what I mean? He ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. But the stuff he's done, guys, I can't even tell you. So demonic. But you know those people that throw rocks and hide their hands. It's just like, you were gunning for me, and you've done all this evil and wicked stuff to multiple people. At least I can sit on here and say I haven't hurt people on that level. Again, I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But not like what he's done. But you cut me off, and you've abandoned me. So that's what it's given with Brian. I don't know what these kids could have done so bad that you've cut them off. And even with one of your child is on their deathbed, you can't even address them and tell them that you love them.
Men do. I'm not surprised about the Brian McKnight situation. Y'all men do it every fucking day. A relationship doesn't work between you and the baby mama, and you move on to the next woman and start a whole new family. Why are y'all surprised? Thing is, y'all kids are young. Your kids are babies right now. This is your future. This is literally the future that is coming to you. The kids will not forgive you. They will grow into adults that hate you. They will grow into adults that don't respect you. You will not be a part of their life. And God forbid they pass away early. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Brian McKnight now has a new family with his Asian looking wife, and they have new kids, and all of his other kids that he had before this woman he cut off, he doesn't care about. His son Niko has been battling cancer for the last 2 years, and we just found out from the uncle that the son has passed away. He never got to ask his son for forgiveness. They never hashed anything out. His son died on bad terms with his father. His son Niko died. Niko passed away thinking that his father didn't love him, knowing that his father didn't love him. Let me not sugarcoat shit here. Niko passed away without the love from his father. You go on Brian McKnight page, it's just full of video and picture after picture of his new family, Fatherhood Fridays, where he shows off the kids that he considers his kids. But all the other ones, those are not my kids. Apparently, those are not his kids.
You can't make this up. His stepdaughter and his biological daughter went to the same school. And like she said, it was a father and daughter project dance. And he went for his, you know what I mean? Because he couldn't go for both of them. So he obviously had to pick one. And he went for his stepdaughter. I'm literally done at this point. Like, what the actual fuck? This is just a whole nother level of evil, like she stated. Like, you can't make this up. I can't. And again, this is very similar to my father. He had 2 different set of kids in the same school, in the same class, but they didn't know they were siblings. You know, he had 2 different baby moms. Like why do you demonic men do this? I have no idea, but you're just ruining and hurting so many people. Nah.
Okay, so there are certain things that I just know to be true, right? Like, it's dark at night, it's cold in the snow, and Brian McKnight is going to hell. And not just any kind of hell, he's going to, like, the special kind of hell. The 7th ring, the hottest layer, the most evil, corrupt, because that's what he is. He is a heartless, soulless individual who has done nothing but harm the children that he created. And in doing so, he has then called them products of his sin, right? Which is disgusting enough. To disown your own children when they did nothing to you, to then now knowing you have a terminally ill child and still saying, I just don't want to make amends because I don't love you. And then your child passes and you say nothing still. But the real evil person in this will also be, riding shotgun to hell with him. It's his current wife. The pick-me who is so okay with him treating his own children like this. And I hope she understands that once she starts showing her age or making some type of small flaw, that she'll be experiencing the same shit. Like, she's not special just because she's the non-black prize. She will be experiencing this, and her children, including the one she's had with him, will be disowned. I hope she knows that, and I hope she knows that hell is hot. The both of them should pack light.
I'm glad what she said, and I'm glad that's the last clip to end this video, because this has been very draining, very depressing video. But like she said, one thing we know for certain and for sure, they, not just Brian, his new wife, his current wife, they're going to hell. Yeah, because again, God don't like ugly. As a woman, I don't know how she can just stand there and let this BS go on. Me and you are going to have problems. If this is my husband and he's got previous kids, I'm like, no, especially because he's battling cancer. I've had people in my family die from. You're going to make amends and you're going to make things right with your son. I don't care. You just don't obviously have to have a relationship because sadly enough, he's gonna die. But the fact that he reached out, he wanted to know that you loved him, that you're sorry, and you still was like, yeah, there's a special place. Like she said, not just any hell. That we all know that's in hell. I'm not gonna go through all those things that she said, but yeah, one straight ticket. That's where they're going. Like, I love that. But yeah, guys, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And prayers to Niko's obviously mother's side of the family and his friends and family. And I hope he has a beautiful send off and may he rest in sweet peace. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.